wants to take over America again? I forgot.
Trump's plan to take over America is called Project 2025. In a 1998 People magazine interview, Trump said, "If I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. They believe anything on Fox News. I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific."
And he said, "I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party." And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult, if it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, but he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies, and he's dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America. And he speaks like a third grader, because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech, and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people, because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, "Oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. And now I finally understand what he's saying." And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Actually, a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote, and Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people strut around proud of themselves, thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony bin of the very low intelligent, and there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence, and the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention, people in the middle that don't pay attention to politics. No matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb, they just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to explain to them what's going on. They have to be told Trump is a moron and he wants to be a dictator, and he's got a million morons behind him that want him to be a dictator. We cannot let that happen.
What day is America invasion again? I forget.